I think I might have just witnessed one of the greatest NBA games I have ever watched in my entire life. The Heat and the Hornets put on an absolute cinema type of game just now. It literally just ended like 5 minutes ago. So this is a raw reaction right after the fact. So if I miss anything, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of working off emotion right now after what I just watched. I do have the Blazers and the Suns game up right now. Not too many interesting things happening right now, but I promise I'm locked in so I can recap that. This is all going to be one video. I'm just gonna do this now. Once this game is over, I'll come back and recap that. But let's talk about this game, man. Early on, the Heat started off pretty hot. Both teams started off pretty hot, if I remember correctly. If we kind of look at the summary of this game, I don't really know where I'm going. I wish I can go like quarter by quarter. But it was a pretty even game in the first quarter. Um, Hornets obviously shooting a lot of threes. Khan could not get anything going, but early in the game, LaMelo really started hot, and so did Bam until Bam went down before halftime uh, when LaMelo swept his leg from underneath him. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I couldn't really tell from how I was watching, but it looked pretty blatant. There was no call on the floor. LaMelo might get suspended. Who knows? It was a dirty play, whether it was intentional or not. But I hope Bam's okay. Obviously, now there's no game for him to play uh, on Friday, but you just hate to see that happen. Um, but it did leave an opportunity for Kel'el Ware to step up, and he did for the most part. 19 boards for him. 19 boards. Wow, I can't wait to see how many Musa had. Musa was an absolute horse this game. But let's talk about the Heat for a second, man. Scoring wise, did you think the three leading scorers were going to be Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, and Tyler Hero? Davion and Andrew Wiggins combined for 55 points. 55. Unbelievable game from both of them. Davion Mitchell seemed to be just all over the court for the Heat. He just around the rim he was scoring defensively, had 2 steals, 6 assists. He did everything out there on the floor. Shot 50% from the floor, 44 from 3. He had a fantastic game, 28 points. And Andrew Wiggins also just scored the ball at a high rate, 56 from the field, 50 from 3. Um, Davion also didn't shoot any free throws. Wiggins had 3 shots at the line, didn't miss. He had an outstanding game offensively. Kel'el Ware, 2 for 8 from 3. He shot a lot of threes tonight. Pele Larson put up some good minutes. Norman Powell, you'd like to see him shoot the ball a little more, but they had his number defensively. One thing that stood out to me in that game, coaching wise, for the Heat, they did not play Norman Powell and Tyler Hero together like at all, which is concerning because that's your 2 all-stars. Tyler, an all-star last year, and of course Norman Powell being an all-star this year. So I couldn't help but think, although Tyler Hero had an outstanding performance down the stretch late in the game, I can't help but think that might have been Tyler Hero's final game in a Miami Heat uniform. There's rumors, of course, that the Heat are going to go after a star player this offseason in a trade, and Tyler Hero is probably the most attractive trade piece that they have. So who knows? But I'm sort of leaning on that might have been Tyler Hero's final game in a Heat uniform. I would have liked to see Jaime Jaquez do a little more out there. Um, there was a lot to be desired for kind of the big names on the Heat, especially Norman Powell and Jaime Jaquez. I would have liked to see more offensively from those two, but that's enough about the losing team. Let's talk about the Charlotte Hornets. First things first, Charles Lee coached one hell of a game. The adjustments that he made towards the end of that game, especially I think back to one of those last defensive possessions that they had, he took out LaMelo and he took out Kobe White because all the Heat were doing was sending people at them and exploiting their defensive lacks. So yeah, that was very gutsy right there by Charles Lee. Um, but a lot of people put out good minutes. Um, LaMelo Ball, let's start off with him. 30 points for LaMelo Ball. He did not shoot the ball well at all, but when it mattered, man, he started off the game. He had 23 points. Um, Not at half. It was early in the third quarter. He had 23 points, and then he just stopped. He went cold. You see right there his 3-point attempts, 2 for 16. Yeah, it was ugly. But boy, oh boy, he stepped up when it mattered most. He had the clutch basket, the layup at the very end to win the game for the Hornets. Con Knipple could not get anything going, but he just stopped shooting, and he also just got pulled out of the game towards the end. You see the minutes log. He didn't play very many minutes compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, the rest of the starting five, I guess. And Kobe White, he ended up playing a lot more down the stretch as well as Grant Williams. Kobe White in that third quarter went on an absolute tear. He had 2 points with like 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and all of a sudden he hits like 3 or 4 straight threes and hits that buzzer beater to end the quarter. But the main thing for the Hornets was the way that they attacked the offensive glass. Look at that number right there. 8 offensive rebounds for Musa Diabate. Unbelievable performance. 12 is how many the Miami Heat had as a team. Kel'el Ware did great on the boards as well, but Musa was an absolute horse on the boards tonight. He had more offensive boards than defensive boards. That's just unreal. Another guy that played very well down the stretch was Brandon Miller. He had a few clutch baskets at the end of regulation, and he had that lob in overtime. Miles Bridges, quite honestly, might be my pick to be player of the game for this game because he was all over the court. He was doing everything scoring-wise, shooting threes, 5 for 10 from 3, driving to the basket, cutting, hitting his free throws, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 3 blocks. He just did everything on the court. He didn't turn the ball over. And that's one thing in the preview that I talked about. The Hornets having turnover struggles against this Heat team. They only turned the ball over 6 times. The adjustments that were made by Charles Lee going into this game, the preparation that he had to prevent turnovers from happening, absolutely outstanding. Sion James had some good minutes out there. A lot of good hustle plays he made. I don't remember Josh Green ever playing. I don't know. Kalkbrenner did Ryan Kalkbrenner things. He didn't get any blocks, but he did well on the boards. 5 boards in 12 minutes. That's very impressive. And 3 out of 4 from the field. He did his job. But if I had to pick a player of the game, I would pick Miles Bridges just because of everything he did in every aspect of the game. It was just really fun to watch him do his thing. So the Hornets, man, the Hornets will be visiting one of the Philadelphia 76ers or the Orlando Magic, and that's 2 beatable teams for them. If I'm Charlotte, I want Orlando, if I'm being honest. I want Orlando. Orlando's a very good defensive team, but I don't know. They seem so beatable, and they feel like a team that will lose 2 straight. I don't know. It seems like a good matchup for Charlotte, whereas Philly can really go band for band with the Hornets. Maybe not band for band all the way, but they can definitely match up well in terms of offensive firepower against the Hornets. And they have Tyrese Maxey, they have VJ, they have Paul George. They're not going to have Embiid, which is unfortunate because if they would have had Embiid and they would play Charlotte, I think I'd give the edge to Philly. But now I honestly think Charlotte could beat both of those teams. I just think they'd have a tougher time against Philly. But man, that was an unbelievable game. I'm very interested to see what happens with the Heat this offseason. The Heat are going to have a lottery pick. Are they going to flatten the lottery odds already? I don't know. But the Heat, a lottery pick in this year's loaded class is really good for them. I think that's really good for them. Like, imagine Yaxel on the Heat. Doesn't Yaxel feel like such a Miami Heat player? That would be a really good fit, I feel. I feel like he's a Pat Riley type of guy. He's an older rookie. He's going to be an older rookie. And he just does everything out there on the floor. All right. So that's it for my recap here of this game. Um, I will be back. It is 36-35 right now, about 11 minutes left to go in the first half here in this Trailblazers and Suns game. I will get back to you guys. I'm not uploading. This isn't the end of the video, but we're going to chop it right here. And I will be back when this game is over to recap that one. See you then. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I recorded a whole 20-minute recap of this game where I kind of said a whole lot of nothing because I wasn't really locked in on this game. But I had some technical difficulties, so I guess it's a gift and a curse because now I can say less. I'm going to start this the same way that I started last time I tried this. So, yeah, here we go. Take a look at this. Heat are just so defensively and in terms of forcing turnovers and pace, they're just so well built against this Hornets team. I really think this is a nightmare matchup for the Hornets. I really do hate to see them go because they have just become the darling of the NBA since the start of the calendar year. But I just feel like the Heat are going to walk into Charlotte prepared and take care of business against the Charlotte Hornets. I'm going with the Miami Heat to win this game in Charlotte and advance. But wait, there's more. I have loved what the Blazers have done this year, especially Donovan Clingan and Denny playing really great basketball, specifically those two. But the Suns have just found a way to win a lot of these games, and I love what I've seen, obviously, from Devin Booker and the aforementioned Dillon Brooks and Colin Gillespie. Also, Jalen Green has fit in very well with this team. And I just think they're more talented, and I think they're more built for these moments and these games, these playoff environment type of thing. More built for that than Portland. I don't think either team has a chance to beat San Antonio in round one, but I think the Suns are more capable of stealing a game from the Spurs. So in this game, I am going to pick the Phoenix Suns to win and take the 7th seed. I have loved. Get a load of this idiot. Who let him talk about basketball? I don't know. Let's see. Let me real quick get this. All right, so I'm not gonna lie. I said so much in the last take on this. I'm just gonna be upfront with y'all. I was not locked in on this game until the fourth quarter. I know I promised you guys in the last thing that I would be locked in, but I just couldn't. I couldn't really get too invested in this until it was close in the fourth quarter, and there was 2 huge runs by the Suns, and to end the game by the Blazers. The Blazers run headlined by Deni Avdija. How good is this dude? 41 points, 12 assists, 7 boards. Absolute monster performance from this guy. Clingan did his thing on the boards as usual. Time Lord shot a 3, which really caught me off guard. Shaedon Sharpe did typical Shaedon things. Drew Holiday kind of had a rough night shooting, but still at 21 points. Love seeing Drew do his thing. Scoot. He's Scoot. Tumani brought the intensity on defense, as well as Matisse and Jeremy Grant had some solid minutes. I don't know. I think the main thing, sometimes it could just be as simple as Portland scored more points than the Suns, and therefore they won. And Portland also just got off to a hotter start to start the game. It was a pretty lopsided start. As for Phoenix, excuse me. How good is Dillon Brooks? Dillon Brooks did his thing tonight. By his thing, I also mean fouling out. Pretty on brand for Dillon Brooks. But Jalen Green, 35 for him, man. Pretty solid shooting night from the field, at least. From 3, he left a little bit to be desired, but also got 5 boards, 2 assists. Turned the ball over 5 times. Devin Booker only shot 2 threes tonight. 0 for 2 from 3. I want to see more from D-Book. 8 for 13 from the free throw line. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same as Denny shot. Yeah. I didn't even see Mark Williams on the floor once. I'm not even gonna lie. Most of the big man minutes I saw Ryan Dunn out there, and I saw Oso Ighodaro. I don't know. This was not an interesting game to me going into it, and I didn't get interested in it until it was close in the fourth quarter, and even then, it was kind of a shit show to end the game. Just so many whistles. It was, unwatchable. But Portland got it done, and they get a one-way ticket to getting their asses smacked by Victor Wembanyama. So the only people that really benefited from the Blazers winning is number one, well, now Blazers fans and the Blazers organization. At least you could say you made the playoffs. And the Bulls. The Bulls now have a second first round pick. So congrats to you guys. Hopefully the lottery gods are in your corner this year, because Lord knows they will not be on my team's corner. I know I'm wearing a Celtics hat. I'm a Pelicans fan. We don't have our pick, and every day I dread the day of the draft lottery because I just know Atlanta's going to get a top 4 pick from us. I just know it. But the Suns do have another chance. They will play the winner of the Warriors and Clippers game, and truth be told, if I'm a Suns fan, I'm praying it's Golden State. I want Golden State. The Clippers, Kawhi's been on a tear, and I think they're just better defensively as well. And not only do you have to worry about Kawhi, you got Darius Garland, you got Ben Mathurin. There's guys on that Clippers team. Whereas the Warriors, it's Steph, who, despite his old age, is still Steph fucking Curry. Draymond Green still does typical Draymond things. And then who? Kuminga's not there anymore. Jimmy Butler's out. Well, he's listed as doubtful, but we all know he's not going to play. Tore his ACL. Hope he comes back strong soon for next season. Because I think him and Jimmy, or him and Steph, would have been fun in these playoffs, fully healthy. So, yeah, I'm hoping for Golden State because you got Steph, you got Dre, and Pods, Quentin Post, Will Richard. Yeah, that's free buns. Unless Steph goes for 60. I don't know. Something tells me this might be Steve Kerr's last year coaching the Warriors. I don't know. No, it's not. He's going to see it through. When Steph retires, Kerr is going to be right behind him. That's what I think. But yeah, the Clippers just schematically, Ty Lue's a great coach. I think he can pick apart the Suns, sort of like Tiago did. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how Tiago is on the X's and O's drawing on the board. But yeah, if I'm a Suns fan, I want Golden State. And yeah, so I mean that's all I got to say about this game. 0 for 2 for me tonight. Let's hope it goes a little bit better for me tomorrow. I'm not going to preview these games right now. I'm going to do that in the morning or the afternoon. Kind of get that out and then watch it. So I've got some great material coming for the playoffs. I'm not sniffing or touching a playoff bracket until the bracket is final, until the play-in is done. So I know the matchups, and I haven't looked at it really. I know the matchups, but I haven't thought about it too much. I'm going to do that when it's time to document it. And I don't know who I have winning the championship just yet. Ignore the hat. That's totally not who I have winning the finals. All right, so I'll see y'all tomorrow for play-in day 2. 2 games, exciting games. Warriors and Clippers excites me. Magic, Sixers. God, I have to sit through an Orlando Magic game. Not happy about that.